Hello everybody, this is Michelle. I know that some of you have asked in the past if I might do like a video of how I do my fingernails. This is what I had, and you can see they've kind of grown out. So I was going to try and do a backfill and change of design. I've started taking off the pattern on these. I saved this one to show you how I file it off, but this is just the very first part of my preparation. I have this nail drill, if I can not throw everything on the floor. I actually got this from Sally's Beauty Supply, and it's really actually pretty cool because it has all these different speed settings. It's probably going to fly off the table here, but so you can have it really low, you can hear it, or you can take it really high. I've never taken it this high ever. Look at that. Probably about that right there is about as high as I've ever even gone. So let me show you on this pinky nail just kind of how we would do this. So, and I've had to learn to be really careful with these because they do get hot, especially when they're turned up high and the really high. That's why I don't go really high, because I don't want to burn my fingers. So that's the general gist. Let me do like a speed up version of this while I file it off, and then we'll move on to the next step. See you in a sec. Okay, so we filed off the pattern part. It's relatively smooth, which is no big deal because I'll go in with just a regular nail file and kind of make it more like completely smooth on top here. But as you can see, it's really long compared to the other ones. And I like to keep mine fairly short with the more traditional square shape. It's just easier for me, and I haven't really experimented with some of the other shapes like the stiletto or the coffin shape. I'd like to at some point, but just to be more feasible for me in my daily life, I just kind of keep them short and square. So let me show you real quick how I would just file down the length. Let me turn this back up a little faster. So I'm going to start right in the middle here, up and down, and go down as far as I want to go. It's going to look kind of funny. See what I mean? It's got like a half moon looking shape, but that gives me an idea of where to file the sides down to. On each side of that little half moon. And if it's not quite short enough, you can do that again. And then I'm going to check one more time to the side of the other ones. Probably be a little bit shorter, so I'm just going to go at it straight this way and just file off a little bit more of that length this direction. Oops. And then sometimes it does move on me, which is fun. But that's okay. Alright, and then this is a little bit big for this nail, but I'm going to try and file off some of that natural nail that grows out with it. I think I have other attachments too, but I just use this one. I like it with the nail file type tip on here, but that should work. Okay, so then I'm going to take that nail file, and I'm just going to file that rough edge off. Sorry if I'm out of the video screen. This is a weird angle for me. And then we can file it the shape on the sides here a little bit too, if we need to. And I did have white on before, so it is filing down a little bit. And I'm actually thinking about putting white back on it again. it was a really nice background to do whatever other colors I wanted to put on top. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll just backfill with white and then thicken them back up a little bit that way. That's why I file them down pretty thin. So I've got some room to build them up a little. That way they don't get overly thick. I do like mine to be a little on the thinner side. But the bad thing about that is they do get kind of sharp and they do hurt. My husband tells me all the time after I do my nails, whoo, got some talons. So yeah, do that and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so would be the next step. And this is some stuff that I bought from their website. It's from Astound Beauty. It's Polygel. And you can actually buy it straight from their website or on Amazon. I believe I got mine from their website, yeah, directly. I got it relatively quickly. I did not know though that the sizes were gonna be so tiny of the actual product. I mean, what are they? 0.53 ounces, but I mean, I've used this 3 or 4 times and there's still quite a bit of product in there, and I think it's because my nails are so short. And they do come with these little forms, which I did try one. This one is still the one I put on over a month ago. And it wasn't bad. I think just with some practice and getting used to how it works, it would be better. But I'm just so used to putting like a tip on with glue and then backfilling with acrylic that it's just easier for me to do it that way even with the polygel. But this is there as an option if you want to do it that way, of course. It also comes with this little metal, gosh, I don't even know what they call this. My brain's kind of in left field today. But this is what you would use to kind of scrape the product off when you squeeze it out of the bottle. I'm being weird. And then the other side has the brush, and this is what you use to brush on your product. It does mention needing like a slip solution, which is what helps spread the product on your nail. But it didn't come with that one, at least because I bought the cheapest like starter kit. But I was doing some research on YouTube, and some of the other people that do nails talked about just using alcohol. So I have this little alcohol bottle, and it has like a pre-pump type thing on top, if I can get the lid off. So I'll just squeeze a little bit out here in this little plastic tub, so to speak. And then I'll just dip the brush in it, and then it allows me to maneuver the polygel really easily. And it doesn't ruin the product or anything like that. You just have to be careful not to get too much alcohol in the brush. So I'll kind of dab it off a little bit before going on there. Otherwise the alcohol just runs all over, and then it makes the polygel doesn't really move around very well if it's too wet. It also came with this glitter. I have yet to figure out exactly how to use this. I really want to though, because it's such a pretty glitter. I don't know if you can see it clear, but it's kind of a chunky fine glitter mixture, kind of a goldish silver. It's really pretty. It came with the apricot color. It also came with white, which is what I have on here right now, and I'm going to backfill with white. And then it also came with change color. Now, I was thinking it was going to be some crazy color change, but it goes on kind of like a peach color. Let's see if I can show you. So that's the color. It's like a pinky peach. It's not even peach, it's more pink. Sorry guys. I'm thinking of the other one, the apricot's more peach. And it goes on that color, and then with the warmth of your body temperature, it turns clear, which is really kind of cool. Then the other really cool thing about this is if you don't have a nail light to set the gel, which it comes with, and I'll show you here in a second, it comes with that as well. And this little thing does a really good job, and it's so compact because you can fold the legs in. If I could just get the other one out. Come on. Any other time it's no big deal. What did I do here? Come on, there we go. Alright, so here's your little nail light. Okay, and then here's your cord. You plug in, if I can get the right end here. This is going to plug in, where is it? Right back here. like so, all right? And then you have a USB end on over here, so you can put this into a block or directly into a USB, whatever you want to do. Just that's what gives you your power for the light. You'll click the power button here and it will turn on, and then I usually give it a little extra time just to make sure it's set, but it doesn't take very long. And then the other stuff that comes in here is the gels. So you have your base coat, and this is what you would put on before anything else, okay? If you're starting brand new fresh, you would put it on your whole nail. I don't when I'm backfilling because it works fine without it, but after you get your layer of polygel on and you get it all smooth, you get it the shape you want, you'll want to put your base coat on first. This is your thickest gel. It's going to give you a really smooth finish. I'll clean it off first with alcohol after it's set to remove that sticky layer. And then I'll put whatever design I'm going to put on there, glitter gels, whatever I'm going to do. And then you'll put your top coat on. And this is going to give it another really nice, pretty shimmer shine, and your nails will last forever. I mean, these look almost like I just did them, except that they have grown out considerably. So for the price, I think I spent like maybe $30, maybe $35 when we consider the shipping cost, which isn't crazy. I mean, acrylic and the bonding agent for acrylic can be pretty pricey, so this worked out really great. It gave me an option to backfill and do my nails. So, and it did come with instructions. I just seem to have misplaced them. There's also a little nail file in here as well. It says Astound Beauty. I just have a ton of my own that I buy from Sally Beauty, so but this is in there if you need one. So let me show you. Let me do a quick sped up video of how we would put some of this on. So let's get into it. I've got most of what I want to put on here for right this second. I can always go in with a little bit more if I need more product in some places. I'm still trying to get it smoothed out a little bit. Also, a side note, make sure your brush is super clean. It looks like I had some glitter in there from last time, and so I now have little glitter specks in there, but I think if I put a pattern on, you won't notice it too much. I'll just make sure it's clean for the next one. So this will be ready to set in the lamp. It is timed, so it'll just do it for you. Or like you can do what I do and just do it a couple times to make sure it's nice and set. And then I will show you the next step from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it under my lamp. And then I'll show you what we do next. So see you in a sec. Okay, so I went through, I put a little bit extra of the polygel. You can tell it's not super smooth, but I can actually file it down and smooth that out. So I'm going to take the sticky layer off. I just have my paper towel here that I was using. I'm just going to get a little bit of that alcohol on my paper towel and just rub the top here with that, and it'll take any of that sticky layer right off. I've been doing that even with my gels too, nothing fancy. So once you get that little bit of sticky layer off, it will allow you to kind of file it down and smooth it. So let me show you here. I just used the side that's not as heavy with grit. This side's heavy duty, right? This side's a little bit lighter. So I'm just gonna smooth this out a little bit. Kind of even it out. And then too, if you get a little bit of product that kind of leaks over the edge, you can just file that off as well. And smooth out that end. Same with the sides, side walls. This is where mine tend to get a little sharp because they do wear down though after you've had them on for a few days. They're not as sharp, but and I did get it kind of heavy right in the center middle part here, so I'm going to work that down to match the rest of it. That way when you go to put your gels and your stamps and things like I do, they go on a lot better because you've got a flat, smooth surface to apply it to. But the other thing I have noticed, I'll just throw this in here, the stamps, at least with the polishes that I use, do not adhere as well to like the polygel or just straight to acrylic. I always put a layer of the gel on first before trying to put any kind of stamp patterns on. They just stick a lot better. Excuse me, guys. The other thing too that makes it a lot more simple to use those stamp systems is using the Insta-Dry nail polishes. Because you can get the polish on the stamp, scrape it off, put your stamp on, and it's basically dry, but it's still wet enough that you will adhere to your nail perfectly. Then you let it dry for a little bit, just for a second, and then you can put your gel right over the top and it won't smudge, it won't move. And then you set that with your gel and it's gonna be there until you drill it back off, which is really nice. So yeah, like I say, we're just gonna smooth that out. I won't waste your time sitting here watching me do the whole thing, but you just get the shape that you want with your nail file, and let's move on to the next step. I will finish this off camera and then we'll show you what we're gonna do next here. So hang on just a sec. So I wanted to show you too, because sometimes this happens when you use the alcohol as your slip solution. Some of that polygel will kind of get really thin along here and around the cuticle. So I just take my nail drill very gently and kind of drill away where it kind of collected and pooled along the cuticle. Because when you go to put the gel on, it's going to get that thick buildup back here, and then it's going to lift and rip and not look very good. So I'm just going to try and get rid of as much of that as I can. Sometimes if it breaks loose enough, you can kind of just push it out of there with your nail, which it is doing, which is good. I like that. And then I do have a little bit of like just natural right here, which I'm not too worried about because when I get the stamps and stuff on, they will cover that. You won't even hardly notice. Or if you put like a glitter on or something back there, it fills it in and you don't see it. So right in that little area there, kind of like that. So that is pretty well ready for the very next step. So let me well, you know what? I've got you here. I won't stop it. So let me just show you real quick. So I'm going to put that base coat on. The base coat gel. Grab the right one. This the one. And it is a very thick product, which is intentional. Let me move this out of the way too a little bit. So I'm just gonna, I start with a little bit of product because I don't want to overdo it. I'm just gonna start from the back and drag it out to the front. I start on the side and then I go to the middle and then to the next side. And this is going to give it a really, really smooth surface. And try to get it as close to the edges as you can. That's going to help the stamps too when you go to apply those, because it's kind of a rolling motion so that you can get coverage from one side clear to the other. And not all stamps are created equal. Some are a little bit small. I mean, that's another reason why it's nice having my nails small, is because the stamp will cover the entire nail. If the nail is kind of longer, it doesn't always cover the entire thing. Trying to get that up in there. There we go. Okay, so that is our base coat. Like so, and that is ready for the lamp. So, and my lamp won't reach over here. Let's see if I can turn my camera a little bit. That's our lamp. I've just got my nail in there. Like I said, it times itself. And I'll probably do it a couple times just because I'm anal and want to make sure that it's good and set before I go to wipe it off. In my opinion, it doesn't hurt to be a little extra careful. So, but yeah, it should turn off here in just a second. and then we'll do it again. Trying to think of any other things I could mention while we're waiting for the lamp to turn off. I mentioned before too, alcohol works great to take that sticky layer off. There's no need for any of that special, you know, gel remover stuff. Unless it comes with it, definitely use it. But if you don't have any, alcohol works just as great. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do it again. Hang on. If you have loose glitters, you can put the gels on, and before you set them under the lamp, you can put glitter on the gel. I'm trying to think here. And get it where you want it. And then as soon as you have the glitter exactly where you want it placed, you can put it under the lamp and the gel will set that glitter down. It's not going to go anywhere. Then when you put your top coats on, it's going to give it a nice smooth texture as well on top. A nice smooth surface, I guess I should say. But, and I used to do that a lot. This is just faster for me because sometimes I get kind of busy and I want to try to get something on my nails. If I have more time, I will generally play with them a little bit more. But so we are ready to take that sticky layer off. And you can see a couple of pieces of glitter in there, but if I was just going to leave them white, I probably would have taken some time to figure out how to pick that glitter out of there, but since we're just going to cover it, I wasn't too worried. So that is with just your base coat. And I'm going to come through, because we do have a little bit of product that's leaked over here. Just kind of file it down a little on each side. And it does kind of wear itself off too if you miss some. No biggie. Make sure we have a nice straight edge here on the end. Okay. That's right there. Alright, so this nail is pretty much ready to put stamps on, or whatever nail art you want to do. Like I say, I like nail stamps because it's a lot easier for me than trying to hand do all that artwork. So I might actually do a separate video on how I do my nail stamps. But yeah, I mean, if you're interested in trying that polygel, I know there's different brands. This is just the one that I picked. And I actually really enjoyed it. It comes with tons of stuff. I was actually really stoked that it came with the nail lamp because these get kind of pricey by themselves. I think I spent almost $200 on my gelish lamp. But the gelish gels that you can buy from Sally's are actually really great. I love them. I use them all the time. In fact, I still use them. I just use these as like instead of acrylic. Because I ran out, honestly, and I was looking for a cheaper way to fix my nails for a minute, and I've just been using these for the past, I want to say month, I guess. And I will fill mine every 3 to 4 weeks usually, because like I say, I get busy and it's kind of a lot of work when you're doing your own nails, but it does save you a lot of money. So if you enjoyed this, let me know, and I will try and do some more nail videos of how I do mine. Like I say, I'll do another video of how I do my nail stamps and the products that I use for that makes it easy for me. Thanks again for stopping and watching. Oh, if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, make sure you like and subscribe. I will be posting more videos on here as well. And we'll talk to you all later. Bye!